Today we're going to learn about animating some ghosts in the art room. And this idea originally came from the art teacher from Dryden Art. So here is just a video for tutorial for my class and my students and how to be able to animate ghosts in my art room. The first thing that you need is to download the DoInk Animation app. It's the one with the octopus. So we're going to go in there first, and this brings up my gallery of everything that I have in here. So you can see some ghosts and other things that I have made. What you want to do first is you're going to touch the plus sign, and we're going to go into New Drawing. And once you're in New Drawing here, you want to be able to choose and create a drawing without having anything behind it. So you just want a ghost that looks as if it's just in your image. On the bottom right, you'll see a square that has a color in it. Currently it's pink. When you touch it, it comes up with these different options for the fill or for drawing. I always have it on the color part here initially for when you're coloring, but you can always play around with the different features that it has available. For me, I like to select black to start off with, but you could come up with a cool ghost if you want. I know my students are extremely creative and have some really fantastic ones that they usually do too. I X out of that. What you want to do is just draw using the paintbrush app. So at the bottom, you'll see a lot of tools. The arrows to the left and the right are actually your back and forward button. So if you didn't like something that you drew, you can hit the left arrow and it will go back. On the button here for your paintbrush, if you tap it one more time, you can choose the size. So obviously you don't want to draw with something that's really big, but when you drag it across, you could have something a little bit smaller. You can always zoom in on your page or zoom out using how you do on pictures when you want to look up close. Pinch or unpinch. So on here, you just start drawing your ghost, whatever shape you want your ghost to be. Okay, and there's my ghost. So like I said, I can pinch inwards to make it smaller, or to zoom in if I want to get into the details, I can make it bigger. So here's my ghost, and I want to give it some eyes. So let's see, my brush is still pretty big. I'm going to make it smaller. And I want to draw an eye here, another eye, and maybe a cute little mouth. Okay? So you can add in other features if you wanted to add a bow or other things, but for this tutorial, I just want something quick and easy for all of you. Next thing, after you've drawn your ghost, you'll touch on the paint bucket icon and then go back and think about what color you want. Do you want to do a gradient? A gradient is when it changes the different colors for when you fill it in. So maybe I want a blue or green blue, like a cool color mix in there, or you could have something different. I kind of like that purple, and then here maybe you want the pink, but I think the blue is fun too. So I can tap my ghost and it fills it all in. If for any reason that you have any of the paint going on the outside area, like if I tap the outside, it creates a fill on the outside, and I don't want that. So I'd hit my back button, and it brings me back to this. But if you had anything accidentally, what happens is and I'll show you, if I draw something and I don't close it off, when I go to fill it, it's going to fill everywhere else. So you need to make sure that all your lines are closed. I'm going to color in my eyes. Maybe I want them to be something bright. Who knows? Something a little spooky. It's up to you. After you fill all this out, I always touch the gallery, go back to my gallery, and then I have my students go into the camera icon and take a picture of somewhere in this room. And after you take the picture, you go back into the camera again, and you do the plus sign, and you go into new composition this time. In new composition, this is where you bring in the picture that you just took, as well as bringing in your ghost that you just drew. So when I touch the camera button, I'm going to select all, because all of my pictures are in here, and I'm going to choose something in my room. So here I have some pictures that are in my room. And the most important part is we don't want to have, whenever you bring something in, it has a green dot, and that's what you're able to move and have animate when you're in here. If I touch my green dot, you see how my picture is moving for the background. And I don't want my picture to move in this, I want the ghost to move in it. So it's important to know what you have selected when you are animating. Because if I touch the play button, you'll see that my picture is moving. A quick way to fix it and to set it back is there's a little box with an arrow. When I touch that, there's another one that says reset, and I can reset. In this same feature here, you can also delete, which is the trash can. When you're ready to bring in your ghost, you touch the star, and then you can bring in your ghost. So here's my ghost. It comes in rather large. And what I do is if you can't see it, you can shrink it, make it easier for yourself to see. But this one's not that big. I touch the little circle on the top left for me. It's easier. And I just shrink it in nicely like this. And now I can zoom in, make it easier for myself. Again, I'm trying not to touch that green dot. When I touch the green dot, now I'm able to draw the path that I want my ghost to go on. Maybe I want my ghost to do this and do a little loop-de-loop and come down, go off the page and come straight up and down again and hide. So there's the path that I have my ghost. When I press the play button, I can see what my ghost is doing. My ghost is going a little fast for me. How do I edit that? To edit that, I go to that little setting wheel, and I can change the speed here and slow it down. I also want my ghost to start off almost invisible, and at the end I want my ghost to be nice and dark and visible, kind of come alive that way. You can also, you see these little swirls and things, you can add those naturally in and it will flip your ghost, or you can draw the loop-de-loops yourself. From here, there's a little arrow that is above my ghost. You see the little triangle that's pointing up on the bottom half of the screen. When I touch that, it shows my two pictures on here. And this is what iMovie kind of looks like too. So I can see what's happening on my screen and where. When I slide this all the way to the end, it's 2 seconds long. And for me, if it's too fast and I've already slowed it down, the next option to slow down my ghost on its path is to make the video a little longer. So you need to touch that little triangle, or diamond, sorry, the diamond, and you're going to expand it. I'm going to make this about 6 seconds, and I need to do the same for my background. So when I drag that, you can see that now it's a little bit longer. And I'm going to touch back on my ghost, and that's where the design comes. So if I touch here, you'll only see the background, but I want to touch the ghost. The next thing is you can add in other characters or another ghost. If you want to add in the beginning, you slide all the way the red line to the beginning. But if you want to add something in the middle, I can touch the cloud. And in the cloud, there are lots of different other ones that are already pre-made, which is pretty cool. So since we're on that Halloween theme, I'm thinking I might add in a little bat. And so this bat is big, and I'm going to shrink this bat a little bit like this. And I'm going to draw my bat kind of doing its own little thing, coming in here like this. I also like the thought of having that spider kind of just dropping in at the end. So I'm going to go back in, again, touch that cloud, scroll down. These are all ones that have already been made. And I'm going to bring this spider. And I just want this spider to be all the way in the back here. So I'm going to zoom in to here and I'll fix